Looks like a relatively quiet week weather-wise around here. Maybe Wednesday, south and southwest of the city, could be a couple of stronger to severe storms. We'll have to watch for that. But overall, quieter this week than what we've seen certainly at times during the month of July. Doesn't mean we can let our guard down, though, during the month of August, because we've seen our share of some pretty strong storms come through here, some severe storms for sure. This bar graph is from the Storm Prediction Center, and it shows you the average number of days with one or more severe storm reports per month. So a severe storm report, the storm has to produce either 58-mile-per-hour winds or more, hail an inch diameter or greater, or produces a tornado. Any one of those three criteria, then it gets a severe storm report from the Storm Prediction Center. And as you can see from this bar graph, May, June, and July are the three worst months in terms of those reports, but August is right there at number 4. And if we take out hail, and we also take out the damaging winds, 58-mile-per-hour winds or more, then you can see if we're just looking at tornadoes, we're looking at the months of April, May, and June historically have the most tornadoes for Illinois. We normally get about 50 during the course of the year. Of course, we know this year we're way above that, more than twice that, but we normally get about 50 in total. But if we break it down, April, May, and June are the worst months for tornadoes, but right there at number 4 is August. We get about 7% of our tornadoes during the month of August. Now, the worst severe storm event we've ever seen probably during the month of August, certainly in terms of deaths, was the Plainfield tornado, which occurred back on August 28, 1990. It was a F5, a Fujita scale is the F5, when we now use the enhanced Fujita scale, F5 tornado with 261 to 318 mile-per-hour winds. And again, we use a different scale nowadays, so just to give you kind of a comparison between the two, we use the enhanced Fujita scale now, but an EF5 has over 200 mile-per-hour winds, but an F5 has 261 to 318 mile-per-hour winds. So look at the damage an EF5 tornado can do. Massive, incredible damage. Well-constructed homes are swept away. Steel-reinforced concrete structures are critically damaged. High-rise buildings sustain severe structural damage. Trees are usually completely debarked, stripped of branches, and snapped. More than 24 people died in that Plainfield tornado back in August 28th of 1990. We've also had some strong storms called derechos, and that means straight line winds. It comes from the Spanish word. So you're looking at a long-lived, damaging thunderstorm or thunderstorms damage, a wind swath that produces 58 mile-per-hour winds or stronger and damage consecutively for more than 200 miles to be considered derecho. This was an event that occurred back in August 10th of 2020. Produced 26 tornadoes in total. Most of the damage was in Iowa, Illinois, and northern Indiana, but you can see many states were affected by this. 15 of those tornadoes out of the 26 occurred in Illinois, and some people were without power for 2 weeks after the storms finally moved through. Over 700 wind reports in total from this, so winds of 58 miles per hour or stronger. It was the costliest single thunderstorm event in modern history at the time, $11 billion in damage, 12 injuries from this. There was an EF1 storm in Rogers Park, so within the city limits as well, EF1 tornado from that storm. And last but not least, you could see on the blog there, I've looked at how hurricanes have impacted us. Of course, it was a dying hurricane, the remnants of Hurricane Isaac several years ago back in 2012 that produced some flooding rain down south of the city. So even hurricanes, or at least the remnants of hurricanes, can impact us during the month of August. So bottom line is, and the message from this is, don't let your guard down now, especially as we go through the month of August. I'm meteorologist Tim McGill.